Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We talk outdoors every Saturday morning for an hour and a half, fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming, our 18th year on the air. And we've got some really news to pop on you folks this morning. An event was held yesterday over in Middle Tennessee in a barn, really, and I've been to that barn at Loveless Cafe yesterday at noon.
Food.
I'm going to talk food, that's for sure. Yeah, 54th Annual Conservation Achievement Awards, and among the awards was 6 West Tennesseans, and we want to talk to the man who knows everything. I don't know if he knows everything, but he's the Chief Executive Officer for the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. That's our good friend Mike Butler. And first of all, Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Larry. Good to be with you.
Let's talk. Yesterday was a big event. You guys know how to throw a party. You know how to recognize people. So let's talk a little bit about the process of when it comes to, and I'm looking here, 17 awards. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We average about 17 awards a year. The process starts in early February. We send out a call for nominations, and we take nominations from around the state where people nominate people in each award category, and there are several,
yes,
as you can imagine, for wildlife, water, air, forestry, forests, land, things like that, leadership, and we have a committee that meets every year, and it's not just our people. It's comprised of experts that we bring in from across the state, and we sit down one afternoon and go through every one of them and vote who wins.
Well, we're tickled to death that some West Tennesseans are getting some deserving honor, and one of those just happens to be our good friend Gene Smith, Hunter Education Instructor of the Year, and we were really happy to be there yesterday to watch Gene get this award. He co-hosts this show once a month. Been doing hunter education for almost 4 decades, over 20,000 students. So I'm happy for Gene, but I look at this thing, let's just go through. Conservation Legislator of the Year. Who else could it be but David Kustoff of Germantown, right? I mean,
I tell you, this year
the Asian carp man. Come on,
no
now.
question, and I want to brag on him a little bit.
Let's
here.
brag, because I was there when we were talking. I did the story, him dance. I'm so happy for David. So talk about that.
Well, we had been working to get to know the congressman for a while, and when we needed to show him the significance of the problem, since he represents Memphis, but he represents, from a land-based side, mostly his district is largely rural.
Yes.
And it includes places that are being impacted by Asian carp. And these fish are so damaging to our native fish and our waterways and recreation. We were able to get him with Bill Dance out on Wolf River Harbor.
Yep.
And give him just a taste of what this is about. And from that point forward,
he was ready.
He really became a champion to work on this. And I'm going to tell you, he is the one that has led the effort to secure a $25 million appropriation, which will help us combat carp in Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana.
Wow.
And
that's super.
He had 15 other congressmen have signed on to that letter request for appropriations with him, and every congressman in Tennessee signed it except for one up in Upper East Tennessee. And frankly, my understanding is Congressman Fleischman, who is on the Appropriations Committee, will carry it forward as his only request of this appropriation cycle.
Well, I mean, to see Congressman Kustoff on there, and of course I live in Germantown, so I'm glad to see him. But there's some other familiar names for me here, but Conservation Communicator of the Year, Dr. David Sloas of Cordova, a champion of waterways and whatever it might be. To see his name listed up there. And also, I'm glad for our good friend Lance Ryder.
Yeah.
To get in there because On Target Award, he's getting that for the outstanding support for the Tennessee Scholastic Clay Target program, which you guys are heavily involved in. And then another one, here's Austin Bibb of Munford, Forest Conservationist of the Year for him. And then there's one more I'm looking down through here. There is, there it is, Larry Ross of Hickory Valley. Dan and Sherry Hammond sharing the Harvest Award for the Hunters for the Hungry, and I will announce that we really support that program. You know that, Mike, on this show. We have done a lot for that, and we're going to support Christian Brothers won it again. Folks out there, you got to get tough. You're going to beat Christian Brothers in that program. I can tell you that for a fact. But this has got to be, and to me it was fun to see Bill Cody up there emceeing it. It was an event. Mike told us that it's going to start at 12 and it's going to end at 1:15. He was a man of his word. This is not something that's going to sit around and do it. But you guys, this is, you told us the format, but I guess this has got to be one of the fun jobs for you. I know it's hard to pick people, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about anybody in front of you with a placard protesting anything here. So,
well, I am proud to say that we are the only organization that gives statewide conservation achievement awards.
That's right. Yeah.
And to recognize, because we understand that no one organization or one person can get done what needs to be done.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and you talk about Dr. Schloss. He's a great example.
Isn't he, though? Yeah.
He's a Communicator of the Year is what he won. And Dr. Schloss, was a surgeon
in Bartlett. That's right. Yeah.
His entire career, and then had some health issues, and then came back strong. And I don't know if you know this, but I think we covered it yesterday, but we covered it again here. He was one of Nikon's top 100 photographers in the country.
In the country. Wow. Yeah.
And he's communicating through these amazing photographs.
Yes.
That he takes, and a ton of them are native Tennessee wildlife.
Yes, yeah.
And that's really neat. And then, of course, you mentioned Lance Ryder. Lance has been a stalwart in the Scholastic Clay Target program, which we run, has a huge presence in Memphis there, and it was just a real treat to be able to honor him. In his career, he just never stops trying to reach more people.
First, all girls squad. I remember that.
Listen, Beretta Firearms based their entire ladies line in their catalog on that team.
Really? I didn't know
They designed the clothing and some of their firearms based upon that team.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
I had no idea about that. And, of course, I know when I look at this list and I see Austin Bibb, he is with the TWRA, spends lots of time in our area at the Meeman Shelby Forest State Park and the hog population and all these kind of things. Every one of these folks, people were really worthy of what you guys did. And I know this kind of steps out. You do so much, Mike. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this, Larry.
What?
We don't give every award every year. If we don't get qualified applicants for the awards or contestants, we won't award it.
Well, that's
so that we've maintained the standard of excellence. And for these folks to win, it's not just because they showed up for a free cup of juice and a jersey. They actually got stuff done.
And that's that might be your new motto. We get stuff done.
Yeah.
Because you guys not just coat and tie and everything like that you may have to wear sometimes, but you're on the ground. Tell our listeners, now this is kind of like, I'm going to pop it at you here, the focus of what the Tennessee Wildlife Federation is.
Well, our mission is to lead the conservation, sustainable use of Tennessee's wildlife and natural resources, across the state. And really, it stems from three major areas we work in. We do a lot of policy and advocacy work at the General Assembly, up in Congress, and in local communities. We do a lot of youth engagement work. You've mentioned the Scholastic Clay Target program. We're about to take our newest program, Hunting and Fishing Academy, from its pilot phase into a statewide phase of operation.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we do, in our stewardship area, we've got a significant presence in habitat restoration, specifically wetland projects, doing wetland restoration. And now we've added on some habitat projects around shortleaf pine forest type restoration. And then you mentioned it before, Hunters for the Hungry kind of cuts through a couple of those areas.
Well, again, we're talking to Mike Butler. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, which has been around since 1966. Of course, I cut my teeth in 1988 when I became the outdoor editor of the Commercial Appeal, and one of the first people I had to deal with was Tony Campbell. Okay, I got by with Tony really good. He taught me a lot. So if I can survive Tony, I'm doing okay. So I appreciate you guys and what you do, and a great time yesterday. A lot of great award winners, folks. We'll have all this posted on lroutdoors.com. Later this morning, you'll be able to read all the winners and things along that line. And, Mike, thank you again. Great time, and we'll stay in touch. Okay, buddy?
Well, Larry, thank you for making the trip up. It was great to see you, and I want you to make this a habit.
I'm going to. I like habits, okay?
All right.
At my age, I need habits, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.